part 2 for today. In the first part of the reading, you're feeling stressed and sad. You feel like things aren't happening. You're unbalanced. And it has something to do with money or kids or both. Okay? So, what do you need to know about this? The word resourceful keeps coming through. And abundant. Abundantly resourceful. Abundantly resourceful. And that's why I'm like, I don't want to say this message incorrectly for you. Because we don't usually think of resourceful as being abundant, right? It's almost like if you're abundant, you don't have to be resourceful. Spirit's been pouring into you. It's been pouring time into you and money into you so that you can be resourceful, okay? And you're sitting here saying, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I don't know what's going to happen. Okay? They're trying to move something in here that you're actually passionate about, that you actually would enjoy having, but you're stuck on the definition of abundance. You're stuck on the definition of abundance. Again, well, if I was abundant, I wouldn't, if I was magnetizing, if I was confident in who I was, I wouldn't need to be so resourceful. If I trusted enough, if I believed enough, the universe would make it happen. Yeah, the universe is saying we gotta stop that. So I'm sitting here thinking, okay, so you're in step with spirit. If you're in step with spirit, you are in alignment with abundance, right? Those go together. If you're in alignment with your highest self, you are in alignment with luxury, abundance, wealth, health, love, right? So why are you acting like this isn't from spirit? They're saying you are financially stable, or you will be. But you might have to get out there and harvest your own flowers. And you're kind of thinking that... Oh, a couple of kings came out. And an empress. Okay. And another queen. Hold on. This is you, right? And being in that abundant, energetic, magnetizing energy, you think means that you're going to sit... Oh, I didn't even see the Wheel of Fortune in there. That you're going to sit, have things given to you, be a king or queen. I mean, look at all of these that came out in a row. What was this one? Oh. Okay, hold on. We'll get to that card in a minute. But let's talk about how these cards... I'm going to take that one out too, because that's in a second. These cards do not mean you did nothing. This is not Aristocrat. This is not money handed to you because your grandparents did the work. These you created. You created your financial stability. You created pouring into others. You created the ability to sit in an empire that you have created. Again, empire is more than one kingdom. You created all of this. These positions were not handed to you because your uncle knew somebody. This wealth, the pouring into yourself, pouring into others, taking care of people, blessing people, having the life you want, was not created by winning the lottery or having someone else do the work for you. Does that happen? Yes, quite frequently. But Spirit is saying Your wheels of fortune are changing because you do the work. You're closing out cycles because you did the work, not because you waited on spirit to do the work for you. And I don't think we want to hear that sometimes. We don't want to hear that you take the first step, God takes the next 100, right? We want to sit and wait and see that the Lord is good. This is coming through very strong religious too. So you might be, you were raised very religious, okay? And you are starting to struggle with that concept of work versus faith, okay? In all honesty, it is a lot easier to sit back and say, I'll wait on God to provide. I have faith it will work out. Do you know why? Because if it doesn't work out, whose fault is it? Not yours. If you don't become a millionaire by the time you're 35, whose fault is it? Not yours. God made a promise and he didn't keep it, so it's God's fault. But Spirit is strongly coming through that they reward people who get up and do the work themselves. Okay? You're not going to get a crop if you never plant the seeds. And you might look at it and be like, well, I want a crop of gold. And Spirit's like, if you would plant the potatoes, you would get a crop and get your gold. And you're like, well, that's too humble. That's not me anymore. I'm higher than that. I shouldn't have dirt under my fingernails anymore. I know this is going to hit hard with some people, okay? You are choosing not to celebrate and use what you've been given. You are choosing not to celebrate it. That's why I pulled these cards off to the side, okay? So I pulled the Wheel of Fortune off to the side. You're choosing not to end cycles. You're choosing not to move forward with what you're supposed to be doing. This is huge for you. I have had so many visions, so many conversations with the spirit world. Confirmation, thank you. That when people choose to help themselves, they get elevated in the spiritual world. There's a reading I did a few weeks back, maybe a month now. Confirmation, they want me to talk about it. That you were elevated because you cried out for help, and before your angels could get to you, you had already stood back up and picked back up your sword. Okay? And you finished what needed to be finished. You made decisions to move forward and do things that you were supposed to do. And because of that, you got moved into Empress and Emperor energy. And it's almost like you want to sit in that healing, in that power, in that title, and not do anything else. But how did you get there in the first place? You made choices to move forward. You made choices to not be held back while you waited. Faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. Sitting and praying for money. When you have potatoes you could plant. Psh, got a bug. You got some kind of monitoring spirit watching you as well, so you need to clear your energy. When you could be planting potatoes so that you have a harvest in 9 months, is wrong. And your angels are coming through so strongly about this. It is almost as if you don't move, you lose the blessings that you had coming. Just like by moving, you multiply your blessings coming. By staying still, you lose them. Okay? You're not meant to stand still. You're not meant to sit and wait. You're meant to conquer and change and heal. You know, the thing about the sun, what causes everything to grow? What is the thing that brings food for the plants? And in turn, oxygen for the people? The energy, the work of the sun. Okay? In spiritual world, in physical world, kinetic energy, meaning the energy of waiting, does nothing. Yes, you need to align. Yes, you need to have faith. Yes, you need to meditate. But unless you are one of those monks who can live on half a piece of bread for 90 years, you got to get out there and get the work done. And this is not to people who are applying for jobs, bettering themselves, doing what they can, hustling. This is not a message for those people. Okay? This is not a message for the people trying everything, being resourceful, doing what they need to. Spirit has seen your work, and Spirit is blessing it. Your abundance is coming in because you chose to move forward, because you chose to do what you could. And there is also something here for those with kids are wanting me to say. For some of you with kids, and this is interesting. For some of you with kids, the decision has been made not to bring in extra money so that you can pour into your kids and show them how not to be left out in the cold. AKA teaching them to plant potatoes. There's an energy of children wanting to learn how to be self-sustaining. They want to learn that resourcefulness that you've learned, and you learned it out of necessity. Teach it to them so that if necessity happens, they have those skills. Okay? Oh my gosh. For some of you, that reached so deep because you couldn't figure out why it wasn't working out. Your kids, excuse me, I don't hardly cry on my lives. Okay, if you're one of the ones hustling, you're one of the ones trying, you're doing everything you can, and you're still sitting on pennies only, it's because Spirit wants you to teach your kids how to be resourceful. It could very well be that your kids have a role. I'm hearing Joseph, right? Not the Moses, right? Moses was raised in the palace. He was raised in luxury. He could speak politics. He could speak to political people. But Joseph was raised poor. 12 brothers. They were taught how to raise a farm. They were taught how to take care of animals. And because Joseph had been raised that way, oh my gosh, I just got full body chills. I'm going to cry again. Because Joseph had been raised the way he was able to literally take care of an entire nation for 14 years. Being able to know how to put aside money, resources, and how to properly use resources saved him and his family down the road. Oh my gosh. You guys, for some of you, not all of you, so this group is divided into two. For some of you, you're looking at this time as, this isn't fair, my kids deserve better, I deserve better, and Spirit's like, teach them to plant potatoes, please. I don't know why potatoes are so important in this reading. Irish, cheap food as well, right? Thing that you can reproduce on your own. For whatever reason, half of you are being told, get out and do the work. The other half are being told, teach your children how to be resourceful, because there's a reason. Something they're going to go through when they get older, they're going to need your skills. And that's what you've been waiting on for both sides of it. So I hope that helps. Please leave me a comment if it does. I want to hear from you. Thank you.